As executive editor, Marty Barron has led a renaissance at the Washington Post, now a vibrant source of national and international reporting that tackles tough issues and speaks truth to power. Under Barron's leadership, the Post detailed the National Security Agency's massive surveillance program, exposed Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election, created a national database to track police shootings and analyze trends in the data. 70 journalists were assigned to the project, one of the largest in the newsroom's history.
Journalism can influence ordinary people's lives for the better. It is essential to democracy, and it is never boring. And I can think of no more rewarding calling than to be a journalist in these times.
He's been editor at 5 of the nation's most influential newspapers, and newsrooms under his leadership have won 16 Pulitzer Prizes. Esquire magazine rhetorically asked, "Is Marty Barron the best news editor of all time?" The son of Jewish immigrants, Barron was raised in Tampa, Florida. He quickly found his calling, working at the student newspaper at Berkeley Preparatory School, then becoming editor of the student newspaper at Lehigh University. He landed his first newspaper job as a reporter at the Miami Herald in 1976, moving into editor positions at the Los Angeles Times and the New York Times before returning to the Herald in 2000 as executive editor. When a fierce custody battle over a 6-year-old Cuban boy named Elian Gonzalez divided the nation, the Herald won a Pulitzer Prize for its coverage. Knight Foundation head Alberto Ibargüen used to be publisher of the Miami Herald.
It was absolutely necessary to have somebody in command of the story who was calm, cool, and totally collected, and that was Marty.
The following year, Barron became executive editor of the Boston Globe, a job he held for 11 years. He soon found himself steering an investigation into the Catholic Church that would shake the Vatican. The Globe's Spotlight investigative team exposed widespread child sex abuse by priests that had been covered up for decades.
You want to sue the Catholic Church?
We're just filing a motion, but yes.
The story was made into the Oscar-winning movie Spotlight.
Show me this was systemic, that it came from the top down. We're going after the system. I think that's the bigger story.
Wait, bigger than 50 priests?
If it came from the top down, yes.
The scandal changed coverage of the church, and revelations continue to this day. Spotlight director Tom McCarthy calls Barron focused and fearless.
There is a purity to his approach, a simplicity even, the simplicity of a master craftsman. Do your job, do it well, and do it consistently.
Barron took the reins as executive editor of the Washington Post in 2013, months before the Graham family sold the paper to Amazon founder Jeff Bezos. Donald Graham gave Bezos some guidance.
He told me that we had the best editor in the news business in Marty Barron, and he was right.
Bezos brought much-needed cash and tech wisdom. Barron brought editorial leadership, and the paper turned around, increasing web traffic, online advertising, and good old-fashioned journalism. When Post reporters came under attack, Barron put them in the spotlight. He led a campaign to free the Post's Tehran bureau chief, Jason Rezaian, when Iranian authorities arrested him for espionage. He kept public attention on the detainment for 544 days, until Rezaian was finally released in 2016.
We as an organization needed to speak up. I mean, who else was going to speak up for Jason, if not us?
When a Saudi hit squad murdered and dismembered Post columnist Jamal Khashoggi, Inside a Saudi consulate in Turkey last year, Barron fought for the truth.
The Saudi government initially lied about what occurred there. And the reason that we know about that is because of a free press, a press that investigated this, which was persistent, that tried to unearth the facts and did unearth the facts.
We are fighting the fake news. It's fake, phony, fake.
The Post is a frequent target of President Trump's war on the media, and Barron continues to champion independent journalism.
I believe that a president doesn't have to agree with us. He doesn't have to like us. He's free to criticize us as much as he wants. But I don't think that he should be engaged in activities that are designed to basically subvert the very role of a free and independent press in this democracy.
The Washington Post now uses the slogan, "Democracy dies in darkness." And Marty Barron says, despite the risks, journalists must continue to dig deep to shine light on the truth.
I think the public is looking for a press that stands for something, that stands for telling the truth. We'll do it regardless of the pressures, and that people will support that.